o'clock news. I'm on the campus of Georgia College and State University, and I'm on my way into the Student Activity Center to talk to some students about a theory that's called the uses and gratifications theory. It's a theory that was introduced in the 70s by two people named Bloomer and Katz, and it's a theory that a long time ago in the 70s was really popular and really well known, and it's kind of fading, but people still know the general idea about the theory. It is a theory that says that media does not influence what you do. It is that you have your own choice, whether you want to view something in the media, whether you want to buy something online, whether you want to do anything, it's up to you. I'm sure all of you are wondering how exactly to identify the uses and gratifications theory. One way to identify it is to look at how individuals use mass communication to satisfy a certain need. Another thing you have to take into account is the positive and negative aspects of the mass media and how they influence people. So what's your name?
My name is Murphy.
And what are you doing here today?
Right now I have my iTunes open and my LimeWire open, and I'm actually downloading some new music.
What kind of music?
Personally, I'm a huge rap fan. I love rap fans, and I download mixtape pretty much daily. It's just kind of it's a legal CD that the artist just kind of releases for free, just as like a preview to the album.
Have you ever heard of the uses and gratifications theory?
I heard about it once in my mass communications class, actually.
Do you think it applies to music downloading?
Personally, it applies to me because I actually get some uses and gratifications out of downloading music. Overly, music for me kind of helps as an escape. It just gets me out of like the world that I'm in and just kind of puts me in my own little world and just slows things down for me. And it's just a simple place that I can go to escape from reality.
Do you think that there's any limitations to the theory?
I would have to say the only real limitation that I can think of is that it could be overly optimistic sometimes for me. I only look at the positive sides of music because it's positive to me. But certain music does have like negative messages, so it really just kind of depends what a person's listening to, I guess.
Okay, thank you. So what's your name?
My name's Grant.
And what are you doing here today?
Well, right now I'm on Facebook seeing what my friends are up to.
Can you explain to me what Facebook is?
Facebook's a social network.
What's a social network?
It's a place you can go to see what all your friends are up to if you haven't talked to them in a long time.
Have you ever heard of the uses and gratifications theory?
I have.
And do you think it applies to social networks?
Yes, it does. It applies because you can go to websites such as Facebook and see what your friends are up to if you haven't talked to them in a long time. And you can also go to other websites such as Wikipedia. You can upload your own facts even if they're not right. You can also go to websites like blogs. And here you can see what people are saying about movies that may or may not have come out yet. You can also go to websites such as YouTube. And on this you can upload your own video. And last but not least, you can also go to my personal favorite, eHarmony, where you can hopefully one day fall in love.
And do you think there are any limitations to the uses and gratifications theory?
Definitely. There are definitely limitations. For eHarmony, you may not be talking to the person that you actually think you are. Wikipedia, you can upload the wrong facts and mislead people. And for Facebook, you can just be a flat-out creeper.
Okay, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Your name?
My name is Jordan.
And do you mind if I ask what you're doing here today?
Well, I am on the computer, and on one window I am on CNN.com watching a live news feed, and on the other I am on ESPN.com watching my favorite team, Kentucky, beat UGA in football, and then on the last one I'm on weather.com watching a live radar and what the weather's going to be in a few hours.
Okay, so can't you get all of these things on TV? Why are you using the internet?
Well, you can, but on TV, for example, the news is delayed for certain times, like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and that's also when the weather comes on. And the sports, as far as stats, you have to wait till halftime and such to get them, whereas on the internet, I can get all three of these things instantly at the same time with just the click of my mouse.
Have you ever heard of the uses and gratifications theory?
Isn't that the theory that Bloomer and Katz came up with in the 1970s?
It is. Do you think it applies to what you're doing on the internet for news and journalism right now?
I do, because I think everyone deserves a right to have their own choice and free will on how they get their news and media, whereas some of the other theories think that the media influences how we decide.
Do you think there's any limitations to this theory in the internet and news journalism?
Well, yeah, sometimes, because you have to know how credible your source is, and sometimes you can get false journalism, such as when Barack Obama was off the record and he called Kanye West a jackass, and the reporter went to his Twitter and put that up there. That's an example, and that caused a lot of chaos and stuff. So you just have to be careful with where you get your news and information from.
Okay, well, despite the fact that you're a Kentucky fan, I hope you have a... Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Go right ahead.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Kyle Peacock.
And what are you doing here?
I'm actually planning to do a Call of Duty game.
Is this your favorite game?
Yeah, I'd say it's up there, yeah. I'd say it's up there.
Have you always been so interested in video games?
Since about middle school, yeah. I'm a gamer. I am.
Well, that's cool. Have you ever heard the uses and gratifications theory?
Actually, I haven't. But I might have heard a little bit in my mass comm class.
Well, do you know enough to know if it applies to what you're doing today?
Definitely. I think the whole thing with it satisfies my needs as far as just having a good time playing with friends. You know what I'm saying? And basically, I can just talk to anybody around the world because Xbox Live makes that happen. So.
How does it make that happen?
Basically, a while back, about when Xbox came alive, Xbox Live came up and basically just completely revolutionized how people play games. They don't just play the gameplay. You play online against people across the world.
Do you think there are any limitations to this theory?
Limitations? I guess lag. You know, it doesn't really play that good, but sometimes. A bad internet connection. DSL. So, other than that, no, not really.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. Have fun.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
What's your name?
Michelle,
And what are you doing?
I am studying for my statistics final.
That doesn't sound very much fun. It sounds like a lot of problem solving.
It is. It's really hard. You have to have all kind of formulas and know what numbers to plug in where.
Do you know what the uses and gratifications theory is?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't that the theory that says that media does not affect what we choose as a media source? Doesn't it say that we have our own free will of choices of media?
That's right. Do you think it applies to problem solving?
Yeah, I do. Especially in statistics and other math classes, probably especially in college, like in accounting and stuff, where you have to look up formulas, and it's really helpful if you're trying to figure out something and you don't know exactly how to figure out the formula. You can usually find it online.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty cool. Do you think there are any limits to this theory in problem solving?
Yeah, I think so, because a lot of the uses and gratification theory research is based on self-reports. And so from what I can remember in some of my other classes, they said that self-reports are the most unreliable ways of research.